So scriptures are made according to different classes of men. There are three classes of men.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svaparantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utaptakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
Oh, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Libang Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Pranjal Prabhu, Tandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisance to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Lebon Prabhu, Pranjal Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai.
Jai.
So what is the prayer to Bhakti Vinod Thakur? I forgot.
I will post it on the chat. Just wait.
Yes, Prabhu, now I cannot find it anywhere. What is this?
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gola Shakti Swarupaya Lupanuga Valayate.
Haribol, yes, Prabhu, that's the one. Of course, you knew it.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is known as Sachit Ananda. He is the transcendental energy of Shri Gola Sundara and the foremost amongst the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. I posted this morning when I opened the session, Japa session.
Yes, Prabhu.
I put a little, glorification on his appearance day, and it was inside.
Yes, Prabhu, really nice. Thank you for reading it. Hare Krishna, Praveen, Prabhu, Tandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Sri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye shrinvatam svakata Krishna punyashravana kirtana ridyandastoya bhadrani vidunuti suhrit satam Nastaprayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, supersoul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, the deities are crying now because there is all the bad omens of Krishna leaving. Arjuna has not returned. So what will happen next? Who will read? Nibon.
Can I start, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Text 21. Manyaitai mahutpatai numam bhagavatapadai ananya purusha shlipil hinabur hatta sobhagam. Manye, you may take it for granted. Tai by all these maha great upatai upsurges nunam for want of Bhagavata, of the personality of Godhead, padahi, the marks on the sole of the foot, ananya, extraordinary, purusha, of the supreme personality of Shri Bihi, by the auspicious sign, hina, dispossessed, buh, the hurt, hatha, so bhaga, without the fortune. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. I think that all these earthly disturbances preclude some greater loss to the good fortune of the world. The world was fortunate to have been marked with the footprints of the lotus feet of the Lord. These signs indicate that this will no longer be. Text 22. Ichi chintayatastasya dhritaristena chetasaragya pratyagamat brahman yadupuryaham kapidvaja. Ichi, thus, chintayatha, while thinking to himself, tasya, of him, drista, by observing, alistena, by bad omens, chitasa, by the minds, lagya, of the kings, pratibhag, agamat, came, brahman, O brahmana, yadu, puryaha, from the kingdom of the Yadu, Kapi, Vajaha, Arjuna. Translation. O Brahmana, Shonaka, while Maharaj Yudhishthira, observing the inauspicious sign of the earth, at that time was thus thinking to himself, Arjuna came back from the city of Yadus, Dwaraka. Text 23. Tam padayo nitpatitam ayattapulvam attulam aduvaddanam abidun slijantam nayana jayum. Tam, him, Arjuna, padayuhu, at the feet, nipatitam, bowing down, ayatapurvam, unprecedented, atulam, dejected, adovadhanam, downward face, abidun, drop of water, slijantam, creating, Naya na abjayaho. From the lotus-like eyes. Translation. When he bowed at his feet, the king saw that his dejection was unprecedented. His head was down, and tears glided from his lotus eyes. Text 24. Vilokyodvikya Lidayom Vichayam Manujam Lipa Prichati Sma Surit Madhye Samsmaranadelitam Vilokya by seeing Udvigya anxious Hridaya heart Vichayam pale appearance Anujam Arjuna Lipa the king Prichati asked Sma in the past Surit friends Madhye amongst some Smalan remembering Nalada, sage Nalada, Iritam indicated by. Translation. Seeing Arjuna pay due to earth-filled anxiety, the kings, remembering the indication of sage Narada, questioned him in the midst of friends. Text 25. Yudhishtiram vacham Kachidanaltapuryam nam swajanaha sukhamassatem madhubojam dashalaham sadvam tandaka vlishnayaham Yudhishthira said Kashchid whether Analtapuryam of Dwaraka. Now our Swajanaha relatives should come happily Asatir are passing the days Madhu Boja Dasara Dalsaha Aha Alha Sadvata Andaka Vlishnaya of the family of Vrishni. Translation. Maharaj Yudhishthir said, My dear brother, please tell me whether our friends and relatives such as Madhu, Boja, Darshaha, Harha, Satvata, Andaka, and the members of the Yadu family are all passing their days in happiness. Text 26. Shurumattatmaha kachit svasthiyaste vathamarishaham Maturam sanuja kaschit kusharya nakatundubihim Shulasena
Dear Prabhu,
Matamaha. Hare Krishna.
There's a new person out here, Prabhu.
Oh, Hari
Bolo,
Bol.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you,
bolo.
Hari Bol.
She actually sings the mantra
Hare Krishna.
after watching the movie of Mahavata Narsimha. She remembers all the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hari
Go
Bol.
na.
Very nice.
Bolo, Hare Krishna, bolo. Nahi. Oh, she is becoming fearful. Okay, okay. Okay, Prabhu, you can continue.
Thank you. So Sulasena Matamaha, maternal grandfather, Kachit, whether Svasti, all good as they passing his day, Va or Ata, therefore Marishaha, respectful, Maturaha, maternal uncle, Sa Anujaha, with his younger brother, Kachit, whether Kushari, all well, Anaka Dundubihi, Vasudeva. Translation. Is my respectable grandfather Surasena in happy mood, and are my maternal uncle and his younger brother all doing well? Text 27. Sapta swasarastat patnyo Maturanya sahatmajaham aste sasnusa kshemam devaki pramukha swayam. Sapta, 7, Swasalaham, own sister. Tat Patnyaham, his wife. Maturanya, maternal aunts. Sat Saha, along with Atmaja, son and grandson. Asate are all Sasnushaha, with their daughter-in-law. Kshemam, happiness. Devaki, Pramukha, headed by Swayam personally. Translation: his 7 wives, headed by Devaki, are all sister, are there, and their son and daughter-in-law all happy? Text 28 to 29. Kashchidajam Ukko jivati asat putro syat chanujam ridakam satsuto krurum jayanta gadam sharanam asate kushalan kaschid yecha satruchidadaya kaschidaste shukam lamo bhagavan satvatam prabhun. Kaschid, whether Raja the king, Aukha, another name of Grasina, Jivachi, still living, Asat, mischievous, Putra, son, Asya, his, Cha, also, Anujaha, younger brothers, Ridika, Sasutaha, along with towns such as Hakrula, Jayanta, Gada, Shalana, Asate, are they all Kushalam in happiness, Kashid, weather? Ye, there, Cha also, Satrujit, Adaya, headed by Kashid, weather? Ashte, are there, Shukam, all right. Lamaha, Balaram, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Satvatam, of the devotee, Prabhu, protector. Translation: Ugrasina's sons, Kamsa and his younger brother Devaka are still living. Is Ugrasena happy? Are Ridika and son Kritavarma, Akrura, Jayanta, Gada, Shalana, and Shatrujit all happy? How is Balaram, the personality of Godhead and protector of devotees? Purport: Hastinapur, the capital of the Pandava, was situated somewhere near present New Delhi, and the kingdom of Grasina was situated in Mathura. While returning to Delhi from Dwaraka, Arjuna must have visited the city of Mathura, and therefore the inquiry about the king of Mathura is valid. Amongst various names of the relatives, the name of Rama and Balaram, eldest brother, and of Lord Krishna is added with the word personality of Godhead, because Lord Balaram is the immediate expansion of Vishnu Tattva as Prakasha Vigraha of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and all of them are qualitatively and quantitatively equal with the Lord, but expansion of the Jiva Shakti, the category of the ordinary living beings, are not at all equal with the Lord. One who considers the Jiva Shakti and the Vishnu Tattva to be on an equal level is considered a condemned soul of the world. Shri Ram or Balaram is the protector of the devotee of the Lord. Baladev acts as the spiritual master of all devotees, and by his causeless mercy the fallen souls are delivered. Shri Baladeva appeared as Shri Nityananda Prabhu during the event of Lord Chaitanya, and the great Lord Nityananda Prabhu exhibit his causeless mercy by delivering a pair of extremely fallen souls, namely Jagai Madana. Therefore, it is particularly mentioned herein that Balaram is the protector of the devotees of the Lord. By His divine grace, only one can approach the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. And thus Shri Balaram is the mercy incarnation of the Lord, manifested as spiritual master, the savior of the pure devotees. Jai. Text 30. Prajumna sarvablinishnam shukamaste mahalatham gambilaya yoni luddo valdatte bhagavanutam. Prajumna, a son of Lord Krishna, Sarva, all Vrishninam of the member of the Vrishni family, Shukam, happiness, Ashti are in Maharatna Lahaham, the great general. Gambira, deeply Layaha, dexterity, Aniruddha, another grandson of Krishna, Valdate, flourishing, Bhagavan, personality of Godhead, Uttamas, translation, how is Prajumna, the great general of Vishnu family? Is he happy? And he is Aniruddha, the plenary expansion of the personality of Godhead, faring well? Purport, Prajumna and Aniruddha are all expansion of the personality of Godhead, and thus there are also Vishnu Tattva. At Dwaraka, Lord Vasudeva is engaged in his transcendental pastime along with his plenary expansion, namely Sankarsana, Prajumna, and Aniruddha. And therefore each and every one of them can be addressed as personality of Godhead, as it is mentioned in connection with the name of Aniruddha. Text 31. Shushenaschalu desnascham sambo chambavati shutam anyecha karnisplavalaham saputra rishabadayaham. Susena, Chaludesna, Cha and Samba, Jambavati Shuttaha, the son of Jambavati, and near others, Cha also, Kaushni, the son of Lord Krishna, Pravalaham, all chieftains, Saputra, along with their sons, Rishabha, Adayaham, etc. Translation, are all the chieftain sons of Lord Krishna, such as Sushena, Chaludesna, Samba, the son of Jambavati, Rishabha, and all others, along with their sons, are doing well? Purport. As already mentioned, Lord Krishna has married 1,608 wives, and each of them had 10 sons. Therefore, I skipped that part. They all grew up, and each of them are as many sons as their father. And the whole aggregate was something near millions, right? 600 and something family members of the Lord. The Lord is the Father of all living beings, who are countless in number. Therefore, only a few of them are called to associate with the Lord in his transcendental pastimes, as the Lord of Dwarka on this earth. It is not astonishing if the Lord maintained a visible family consisting of so many members. It is better to refrain from comparing the Lord's position with ours. And it becomes a simple truth as soon as we understand at least a partial calculation of the Lord's transcendental position. King Yudhishthira, while inquiring about the Lord's sons and grandson at Dwaraka, mentioned only the chieftain amongst them. Otherwise, it was impossible for him to remember all the name of the Lord's family member. Text 32-33. Tataivanuchara shorehim Shruta devo vadayaham Shunandananda Shilnanya shanyam yechanye satvatal shabaham apisvascha sate sarvim lama krishna buja shlayaham apismaranti kushalam ashmakham batta shuridaham tata hevas tata eva. Similarly, Anuchala, constant companions, Shaurya of Lord Shri Krishna, such as Shrutadev, Uddhava, Uddhava and others, Sunanda, Nanda, Shil, Sanya, or the leader, yea, all of them, Cha and any others, Satvata, liberate soul, Rishabha, the best man. If Swasti, doing well, Asate are salve, all of them, Rama, Balaram, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Puja Shlayaham, under the protection of Api, if also, Smaranti, do remember, Kushalam, welfare, Ashmakam, about ourself, Bada, Sauridaham, bound by eternal friendship. Translation. Also are Uddhava and others, Nanda, Sulanda, and other leader of liberated soul who are constant companion of the Lord, who are protected by Lord Balaram and Krishna, are doing well in their respective function today, who are all eternally bound in friendship with us. Remember our welfare. Purport. The constant companions of Lord Krishna, such as Uddhava, etc., are all liberated souls. And they had descended along with Lord Krishna on this material world to fulfill the mission of the Lord. The Pandavas are all also liberated souls who descended along with Lord Krishna to serve him in his transcendental pastimes on his earth, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 4:5, but chapter 4, verse 5. The Lord and his eternal associate was also liberated soul like the Lord, come down on this earth at certain intervals. The Lord remembered them all, but his associate, although liberate souls, forget due to their being Tatastha Shakti, or marginal potency of the Lord. That is the difference between the Vishnu Tattva and the Jiva Tattva. The Jiva Tattva are infinitesimal potential particles of the Lord, and therefore they require the protection of the Lord at all times. And through the eternal servitors of the Lord is pleased to give all protection at all times. The liberated soul never, therefore, think themselves as free as the Lord or as powerful as the Lord, but they always seek the protection of the Lord in all circumstances, both in the material world and in the spiritual world. This dependence of the liberated soul is constitutional, just as spark of fire can exhibit the glow of the fire, along with the fire and not independently. Independently, the glow of the spark is extinguished, although the quality of the fire or the glowing is there. Thus, those who give up the protection of the Lord and become so-called lords themselves out of spiritual ignorance come back again to this material world, even after prolonged tapasya of the severest type. That is the verdict of all Vedic literature. I will read the last one. The text 34. Bhagavan api Govindo Brahmanyo Vatsalam Kachit Pure Sudalmayam Shukamaste Surit Vritaham. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Krishna, happy also. Govinda, one who enlivened the cow and the senses, Brahmanya, devotee to the devotees of the Brahmanas. Bhakta Vatsala, affectionate to the devotee. Kachit, whether pure in Dwaraka, Puri. Sudal Mayam, pious assembly. Shukam, happiness. Aste, does enjoy. Surit, Vrita, surrounded by friend. Translation. If is the Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who gives pleasure to the cows, senses, and the Brahmana, who is very affectionate toward his devotee, enjoyed the pious assembly at Dwarkapuri, surrounded by friends? Purport. Here, in this particular verse, the Lord is described as Bhagavan, Govinda, Brahmanya, and Bhaktavatsala. He is Bhagavan, Swayam, or the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, full with all opulences, all power, all knowledge, all beauty, all fame, and all renunciation. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is Govinda, because he is the pleasure of the cows and the senses. Those who have purified their senses by devotional service of the Lord can render unto him real service and thereby derive transcendental pleasure out of such purified senses. Only the impure conditioned living being cannot derive any pleasure from the senses, but being illusioned by false pleasure of the senses, he becomes servant of the senses. Godas. Therefore, we need his protection for our own interest. The Lord is the protector of the cows and Brahmanical culture is not under the direct protection of the Lord, just as prisoners in the jail are not under the protection of the king, but under the protection of a severe agent of the king. Without cow protection and cultivation of Brahmanical qualities in the human society, at least for a section of members of society, no human civilization can prosper at any length. By Brahmanical culture or by developing the dormant quality of goodness, namely truthfulness, equanimity, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, general knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and firm faith in the Vedic wisdom, one can become a Brahmana and thus see the Lord as he is. And after surpassing the Brahmanical protection, one has to become a devotee of the Lord so that his loving affection in the form of proprietor, master, friend, son, and lover can be transcendentally achieved. The stage of a devotee which attracts the transcendental affection of the Lord does not develop unless one has developed the quality of a Brahmana, as above mentioned. The Lord is inclined to a Brahmana of quality and not of false prestige. Those who are less than a Brahmana by qualification cannot establish any relation with the Lord. Just as fire cannot be kindled from the raw earth unless there is wood, although there is a relation between wood and the earth. Since the Lord is all perfect in himself, there could not be any question of his welfare, and Maharaj Yudhishthira refrained from asking this question. He simply inquired about his residential place, Dwarakapuri, where pious men assemble. The Lord stays only where pious men assemble and takes pleasure in their glorifying the supreme truth. Maharaj Yudhishthira was anxious to know about the pious men and their pious acts in the city of Dwaraka. Thank you very much for opportunity to read. Anchakarpatalubhya Chakrapasindubhya Vachapatitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Haribol. Text
Hare
number
Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
that
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, can I just take 2 minutes of time? I actually want to share something, and can you suggest something on that issue?
if it's really short,
Am I audible?
you can do after the reading also,
Okay, sure, Prabhu. Okay.
because we don't have too much reading time anymore.
Okay, Prabhu. After that session, I'll
Yes,
share.
Text number 35 to 36. Mangalaya cha lokanam kshemaya cha bhavaya cha asteya dukulam bodhav adyo nanda sakha puman yadbahudanda guptayam svapuryam yadavod Richita Kridanti Paramanandam Mahapaurushika iva. Mangalaya for all good, Cha also, Lokanam of all the planets, Kshemaya for protection, Cha and Bhavaya for elevation, Cha also, Aste is there, Yadukula Ambodao in the ocean of the Yadu dynasty, Adyaha the original, Antasaka in the company of Ananta, or Anantasaka in the company of Ananta Balaram. Puman, the supreme enjoyer, Yathus Bahudanda Guptayam, being protected by his arms, Swapuryam in his own city, Yadava, the members of the Yadu family, Archita, as they deserve, Kridanti, are relishing, Paramanandam, transcendental pleasure, Mahabaurushika, the residents of the spiritual sky, Iva, like. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The original personality of Godhead, the enjoyer, and Balaram, the primal Lord Ananta, are staying in the ocean of the Yadu dynasty for the welfare, protection, and general progress of the entire universe. And the members of the Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of the Lord, are enjoying life like the residents of the spiritual sky. Purport. As we have discussed many times, the personality of Godhead Vishnu resides within each and every universe in two capacities, namely as the Garbhodakasai Vishnu and the Kshirodakasai Vishnu. The Kshirodakasai Vishnu has his own planet on the northern top of the universe, and there is a great ocean of milk where the Lord resides on the bed of the Ananta incarnation of Baladev. Thus Maharaj Yudhishthira has compared the Yadu dynasty to the ocean of milk and Shri Balaram to the Ananta where Lord Krishna resides. He has compared the citizens of Dwaraka to the liberated inhabitants of the Vaikuntha Lokas, beyond the material sky, further than we can see with our eyes, and beyond the sevenfold coverings of the universe. There is the causal ocean in which all the universes are floating like footballs. And beyond the causal ocean, there is unlimited span of spiritual sky, generally known as the effulgence of Brahman. So there's material sky, then there is causal ocean, then there is spiritual sky, and then there is the effulgence. Within this effulgence, there are innumerable spiritual planets, and they are known as the Vaikuntha planets. Each and every Vaikuntha planet is many, many times bigger than the biggest universe within this material world, and each of them there are innumerable prototypes of Vishnu inhabitants who look exactly like Lord Vishnu. So those who have merged into the Brahma Jyoti, the devotees who are meditating, and they have merged in, the impersonalists who are meditating, and they merge into Brahma Jyoti, are they also like emanating lights? Are they like light particles? Does someone know this?
You were asking, sorry, I didn't know. Can you formulate again your question, please? I
Yes,
didn't.
Prabhu. The souls that are in the Brahma Jyoti, who are merged into the Brahma Jyoti, are they emanating light, or is all the light coming from Krishna's body, or is some of the Brahma Jyoti's light coming from the souls that are merged into the Brahma Jyoti, or like are they emanating
Are you
light?
asking that are there some kind of individuals?
I know they are
Like
individuals, but I'm thinking when they are meditating,
Actually,
they're
propose what I have heard from
yeah,
Prabhupada or videos, that it is emanation of Krishna's energy only, like his light aspect, and then second is his Paramatma aspect, and third at last one is Bhagavan.
yes.
I think what I have heard from some lectures.
So there is some souls that are floating there in the Brahma Jyoti, you know?
yes.
Are those souls
So, but they fall
emanating
down.
light, or are they emanating light like the sun planet does, or are they not emanating light, or are they emanating light? That I was thinking about, because the soul itself, it's emanating light, I think, because it's
Yes.
making the whole body conscious, so it's
Yes.
like a light
But
particle.
it is infinitesimal light.
Yes.
Hmm? And the Lord is supremely more, limited than that, And so actually, it is light, but very small particle of light. Just like I was reading, it is compared to a spark in fire. We are the Jiva Shakti are compared to spark. So actually, even if you merge in the Brahma Yuti, you remain that spark of
Yes.
light.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
okay.
generally, when there is some picture, when we saw that, for example, Shishupala, when he was killed by the Lord, then immediately they saw a light, small particle of light merge into the Lord. You see,
Yes,
so
okay.
it is like this, from what I know.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, now I understand it. Thank you, Prabhu.
No problem. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai. The inhabitants are known as the Mahapaurushikas, or persons directly engaged in the service of the Lord. They are happy in those planets and are without any kind of misery, and they live perpetually in full youthfulness, enjoying life in full bliss and knowledge, without fear of birth, death, old age, and disease, and without the influence of Kala, eternal time. Maharaj Yudhishthira has compared the inhabitants of Dvaraka to the Mahapurushikas of the Vaikuntha Loka because they are so happy with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are many references to the Vaikuntha Lokas, and they are mentioned there as Maddhama, or the kingdom of the Lord. Okay, Haribol, who wants to read the next one? You have 15 minutes left.
Can I?
Yes, bro.
Text 37. यत्पादशुश्रूषण मुख्यकर्मणा सत्यादयो द्वेष्टा सहस्रयोषितः निजित्वा शङ्ख्ये त्रिदशांस्तदाश्रींशो हरयन्ति वज्रायुध वल्लभोचितः यत् whose pada feet susrushana administration of comforts, mukhya, the most important, karmana, by the acts of satya adayaha, queens headed by Satyabhama, dvashta, twice 8, sahasra, 1,000, yoshitaha, the fair sex, nirjitya, by subduing, sankhye, in the battle, Tridashan, of the denizens of heaven, tathashi shaha, what is enjoyed by the demigods, haranti, do take away, Vajra, Ayudha, Vallabha, the wives of the personality who controls the thunderbolt, Uchitaha, deserving. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The queens of Dwaraka, headed by Satyabhama, simply by administrating comforts at the lotus feet of the Lord, which is the most important of all the services, induced the Lord to conquer the demigods. Thus, the queens enjoy things which are prerogatives of the wives of the controller of thunderbolts. Purport Satyabhama, one of the principal queens of Lord Sri Krishna at Dwaraka. After killing Narakasura, the Lord Krishna visited the palace of Narakasura accompanied by Satyabhama. He went to Indraloka also with Satyabhama, and he was received by Sachi Devi, who introduced her to the mother of the demigods Aditi. Aditi was very much pleased with Satyabhama, and she benedicted her with the blessings of permanent youth as long as Lord Krishna remained on the earth. Aditi also took her with her to show her the special prerogatives of the demigods in the heavenly planets. When she saw the Parijata flower, she desired to have it in her palace at Dwarka. After that, she came back to Dwarka along with her husband and expressed her willingness to have the Parijata flower at her palace. Satyabhama's palace was especially bedecked with valuable jewels, and even in the hottest season of summer, the inside of the palace remained cool, as if air conditioned. She decorated her palace with various flags heralding the news of her great husband's presence there. Once, along with her husband, she met Draupadi, and she was anxious to be instructed by Draupadi in the ways and means of pleasing her husband. Draupadi was expert in this affair because she kept five husbands, the Pandavas, and all were very much pleased with her. On recipient of Draupadi's instructions, she was very much pleased and offered her good wishes and returned to Dwarka. She was the daughter of Satrajit. After the departure of Lord Krishna, when Arjuna visited Dwarka, all the queens, including Satyabhama and Rukmini, lamented for the Lord with great feelings. At the last stage of her life, she left for the forest to undergo severe penances. Satyabhama instigated her husband to get the Parijata flower from the heavenly planets, and the Lord got it even by force from the demigods, as a common husband secures things to please his wife. As already explained, the Lord had very little to do with so many wives to carry out their orders like an ordinary man. But because the queens accepted the high quality of devotional service, namely administrating the Lord all comforts, the Lord played the part of a faithful, complete husband. No earthly creature can expect to have things from the heavenly kingdom, especially the Parijata flowers, which are simply to be used by the demigods. But due to their becoming the Lord's faithful wives, all of them enjoyed the special. Go to the next page, bro. Enjoyed the special prerogatives of the great wives of the dungeons of heaven. In other words, since the Lord is the proprietor of everything within his creation, it is not very astonishing for the queens of Dwarka to have any rare thing from any part of the universe. Text 38. यद्बाहु दण्डाभ्युदयानु जीविनो यदु प्रवीराह्यकृतो भया मुहुः अभिक्रमन्त्या अति अभिक्रमन्ति अं- अंघ्रिभिर् आकृतां बलात् सभां सुधार्मां सुधर्मां सुरा सुतमोचितां यत् whose Bahudanda arms Abhyudaya, influenced by Anujivinaha, always living Yadu, the members of the Yadu dynasty, Praviraha, great heroes, Akuta Bayaha, fearless in every respect, Muhu, constantly Avikramanti, traversing Ang Angirbihi by foot, Ahritam, brought about Balat by force, Sabham, assembly house, Sudharma, Sura Sattama, the best among the demigods, Uchitam, deserving. Translation. The great heroes of the Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of Lord Sri Krishna, always remain fearless in every respect, and therefore their fate trample over the Sudharma assembly house, which the best demigods deserved, but which was taken away from them. Purport. Those who are directly servitors of the Lord are not only protected by the Lord from all fearfulness, but also enjoy the best of things, even if they are forcibly accumulated. The Lord is equal in behavior to all living beings, but he is partial to his pure devotees, being very affectionate toward them. Being he is partial to his pure devotees, being very affectionate toward them. The city of Dwarka was flourishing, being enriched with the best of things in the material world. The state assembly house is constructed according to the dignity of the particular state. In the heavenly planet, the state assembly house called Sudharma was deserving of the dignity of the best of the demigods. Such an assembly house is never meant for any state on the globe because the human being on the earth is unable to construct it, however far a particular state may be materially advanced. But during the time of Lord Krishna's presence on the earth, the members of the Yadu family forcibly brought the celestial assembly house to earth and placed it at Dwaraka. They were able to use such force because they were certain of the indulgence and protection of the Supreme Lord Krishna. In other words, the Lord is provided with the best things in the universe by his pure devotees. Lord Krishna was provided with all kinds of comforts and facilities available within the universe by the members of the Yadu dynasty, and in return, such servitors of the Lord were protected and fearless. A forgetful, conditioned soul is fearful, but a liberated soul is never fearful. Just as a small child completely dependent on the mercy of his father is never fearful of anymore. Fearfulness is a sort of illusion for the living being when he is in slumber and forgetting his eternal relation with the Lord. Since the living being is never to die by his constitution, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 2:20, then what is the cause of fearfulness? A person may be fearful of a tiger in dream, but another man who is awake by his side sees no tiger there. The tiger is a myth for both of them, namely the person dreaming and the person awake, because actually there is no tiger, but the man forgetful of his awakened life is fearful, whereas the man who has not forgotten his position is not at all fearful. Thus, the members of the Yadu dynasty were fully awake in their service of the Lord, and therefore there was no tiger for them to be afraid of at any time. Even if there were a real tiger, the Lord was there to protect them. That's 39.
Oh, really amazing purport. Okay, now we go to Sastakam prayers. Thank you so much, Praveen Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shreyah kairavachantrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नाम्ना मकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिश् तत्रार्पिता निज नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इहाजनि नानुरागः गृणादपि सुनीचेन करोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिनाम् अनदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि
ऐनन्दतनुज किङ्करं पैतं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थित धूळि सदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं प्रभु वदनं गद्गद हृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेन्न मे अश्लिष्य वापद रतां पिनस्तु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Somehow or other have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord and unconditionally.
Oh, I was muted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Siksastakam ki jai. Bahujanma Karaya Dishavana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to
Fifth,
consider... Yes, Prabhu, please.
to consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of those precious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as productive activities Karma Kanda.
Ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Tenth offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Let us offer humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Pancha Kalpataru.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
Prabhus, for coming to this reading session. Thank you very much for your kind association. Oh, glory Srila Prabhupada. See you tomorrow. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhu.